The Port of Alaska is critical to the state. It serves 90% of Alaska's population. The port's significance was made clear to Secretary Buttigieg on a tour of the port.
This port alone handles nearly 3/4 of the state's inbound cargo and gets things to military bases, rural Native Alaskan villages, and every place in between. Demonstrates the very meaning of critical and essential infrastructure.
During his hour-and-a-half tour, Mayor Dave Bronson, Assembly leadership, and an official with the Port of Alaska showed Secretary Buttigieg the threats the port is facing.
And it's in great structural jeopardy right now. He understands that.
The original terminals were constructed before many of us were born, and for after the better part of a century, as we've seen firsthand in today's visit, their very foundations are beginning to corrode and come apart.
Buttigieg visited the area of the North Extension Stabilization Project, which is part of the Port of Alaska Modernization Program. In 2022, the port received a $68.7 million grant through the Department of Transportation Port Infrastructure Development Program to help advance the project.
Now, you ought to know that that $68 million award was the single largest award we made through this program last year.
An official with the Port of Alaska says the project will result in a much safer and more easily navigated berthing for vessels and cargo terminals.
We're going to remove a bunch of material that's there that's not stable in order to make to provide the space for ships to continue operating and delivering food and cargo.
Buttigieg and others said the 2018 earthquake was a wake-up call to many on how important and fragile critical infrastructure like the port are to Alaska. Alaska is the beneficiary of more than $5 billion in federal investments from President Joe Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, which was signed in November 2021. Alaska's news source, Steve Kirch.